What's going on, guys? Josh here from Momentum Productions, and I realized something today. I realized that my Sony A9 camera and my Sony A7S are starting to get a little old. How? Well, the batteries are starting to drain a lot quicker, and instead of spending $80 for another Sony battery, there has to be a better long-term solution that will get me a lot more power, and that's where this company came in. Soonwell. Now, I've reviewed a battery pack from Soonwell before. They actually make V-mount batteries like this one here. I took this battery with me on a ton of shoots. I actually just came back from San Francisco filming a business course, and I powered up my aperture lights using Soonwell batteries. So they definitely know how to make a good quality battery at a low cost, but they made something completely different this time. They tried to pack a V-mount battery inside of a handle. So when I saw that Soonwell can produce a battery pack and fit it into a handle, I was like, hey, I gotta try this out. Now, they did send this battery pack to me to try out, but they in no way paid me to make this video, so it is going to be honest. There's definitely some quirks with this system, so stay tuned for that. But let me talk first about the build quality and what kind of functions this battery handle can actually give you. First off, the unboxing process, we get the handle, we get a bunch of little attachments, such as a little cheese plate meant to mount the handle. We also get a ton of little screws meant to mount down that cheese plate. We get a little cold shoe adapter mount. We also get a ton of cables allowing you to use the P-tap connection to power up your devices, such as an external monitor, and we can power up our cameras either using the USB port, or you can actually get a dummy battery and plug it in directly to the 12-volt connection. Let's talk about the build quality of this handle. It has an aluminum body, it has a strong metal build, and a rubberized grip. Now, this thing has some girth to it, and yes, size matters, and so does weight, believe it or not. This thing is not light, all right? It's completely metal, it's girthy, it's thick. I just love to grab it. My hand doesn't feel tired, and especially when I'm using a long lens like a 70-200, this handle really helps me out, and I use it more than I use my thinner NATO handles, which just don't really do the trick when you're using heavier setups. Now, on the side of the handle is where we're gonna see all of our outputs and inputs. We have two 14.4 volt 10 amp outputs and their inputs for charging. We have two 3 amp outputs, one that's 12 volt and 8 volt. We also have a USB output which provides 5 volts at 1 amp. On the other side of the handle, we have a battery level check, and this will constantly tell you what your battery status is at. On the top of the handle, we have 3/4 20-inch ports. This is great for mounting your monitors and any other accessory that uses that port. Now, here's where the first quirk comes in with this handle. I really would have loved to see those 1/4 20-inch ports all over the top side here and on the sides here, because it looks like wasted space to me. So I wish for the version 2 of this handle to have all of those ports there, because you know, you really do need that space. These three just don't cut it, but if you want to mount just a monitor, then I guess these ports are just fine where they are. And we have the power button up here, which is actually a joy to push. It's such a soft little button and it lights up. I just love doing it. Now, it's important to note that as soon as you hit that power off button, it's gonna power off the battery completely, which means that if you're using a dummy battery for your camera, it's gonna shut off your camera too. So make sure you stop recording and switch off your camera first before you power off the battery pack. Now, it's very important to note that if you're using this kind of handle, you need to be using a camera cage. There's just no other way to mount this thing without a camera cage. Now, if you want to know what a really good camera cage is all about, check out the links down below where I link my favorite camera cages. I'm using one on my Sony A9 and my Sony A7S. Now, as I mentioned before, this is going to replace your regular camera battery, and it's going to give you a lot more battery life. For example, this plugs in directly into the handle, and if we take a look at the original Sony batteries here, they give you 16.4 watt hours. This battery here gives us 72 watt hours. So you're gonna get approximately 8 hours of video runtime off of this kind of battery, possibly even more. And as soon as we start adding some accessories such as a monitor, microphone, and you're gonna power it off of this handle, you're gonna see that battery life decrease. But it beats having 2 hours on these little batteries here. 8 hours, definitely better than 2. 4 times more of battery life, and you just have many more options to choose from when you're using a battery handle like this one here. Also, that brings me to my next thing here. If you look at your Sony camera, Canon camera, you are going to get a full readout, an accurate readout of the current battery level. So not only do you have battery check on the side, but you're also gonna have battery check within your camera's menu, so there are no guessing games here. So if you guys are looking for a solution that will allow you to mount a ton of accessories and will power your camera all at the same time while actually giving you a comfortable, girthy grip, then this handle is the option for you. So if you guys are interested, go ahead and check out the link down below for it, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.